basically all these soldiers were glowing at nighttime from all their wounds.
So maybe that's so like the hidden.
And then it was what they called
Fountain of Youth.
They called it angel something.
Dust.
Angel dust. Yes.
I think that's.
And I learned something.
Greenway Outdoors is brought to you by Ram Trucks, built to serve. Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here. Savage Arms. Better comes standard. Nosler Ammunition. World's finest bullets, ammunition, and brass. Boss Shot Shells. Superior made and American made. Carlson's Choke Tube's the only choke tube we've ever purchased. Onyx Hunt. Know where you stand.
Hello and welcome to episode 112 of the Greenway Outdoors podcast. My name's Kyle.
I'm AJ.
I'm Jeff.
Are you blowing them out of your nose?
Yeah.
Prove it. Prove it.
Take the two out of your mouth. Now do it.
He proved it. All right.
I'd like to point out
There you go.
that there are four of them.
He's giving Jeff his back.
And instead of thinking, oh, there's four of us, there's four of them, perfect, he thought, well, I'll put two in my nose and I'll finger the other two.
You know what that reminds me of?
What?
High school. Because, no, I'm just kidding. Oh. We're all having a good time. Happy birthday to me. If I can say whatever I want, I can be in my birthday suit.
No.
I'm doing it.
No. Cut.
I'll do it.
The aggressive nature of taking it off like that is a little
It's the
crazy.
best bit. It's the best part of the bit.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
You ever get in a street fight, get naked?
Yeah.
They stop fighting.
Who wants to fight a naked guy?
Yeah, it's true. They think
But
you're crazy.
the only problem is what if it backfires and they still want to fight?
Well, I do it to.
Now they got something to hold on to.
I do it to.
Maybe.
I do it to preemptively stop the fight.
Okay.
Can you imagine, like, fisting up, and then the guy just starts undressing, and you're like, oh, okay.
Then you get really fisted up.
Yeah.
You imagine getting ready to fight and you start getting naked and the other guy goes, oh, yeah.
Oh, it didn't work.
He starts doing it too.
Now he's more focused.
And then there's this big pool of gravy behind you, and then there's another one of Jell-O, and he says, "Which one do you want to get into?"
No, anyone?
I'm like, where are you?
But when he takes his pants off, he's got a garter on. It's like, oh no,
Oh, no.
He anticipated this. And then you don't know how to you don't know how to tell your
No.
dad.
I feel like after you bring in the garter, that's good. That's good.
So then you get home and you tell your grandma, and you're like, hey.
I know what this is.
No, you don't understand, Grandma. I'll tell you.
It was a
So
first.
happy birthday.
Thank you.
I saw you got a gift basket this morning.
Yeah, well, the gift basket is our trout basket.
Oh, that's right.
Abigail supplied us for our road trip. However, I normally everything in our baskets start with the letter of what we're targeting. This one didn't. I felt laziness around it. I'm gonna be the one to say.
I don't know what.
I'm also concerned with the ghost pepper potato chips that are in
Feels
there.
like something Ryan would like.
Should we try them here?
Go for it.
Go ahead.
Why? So that's
Well,
not.
you guys aren't going to try them?
No.
So number
Why?
one,
Ghost pepper?
Zero interest.
Okay, they're not going to. It's not like a gimmick. It's an actual food you
You
can
and
buy.
your brother with this.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
like,
yeah.
So ghost pepper, like it's really hot. You're only gonna have like one, and
Right.
it's like more for a test than anything else. But like, what if the truck breaks down and we're relying on these snacks to survive? We got to eat ghost pepper chips to survive.
We don't have any water, and I'm really hungry. But damn it, if I mean, I gotta commit.
Yeah.
I gotta really solve hunger and really increase thirst, or I've got to just continue down the road I'm on.
Yeah, it's definitely Abby humor. This bag of chips right here.
Which level do you get
This is
to?
I'm a janitor. I work at a bank.
Now in survival situation,
Oh, Trader Joe's tea for trout.
that was her bit.
There it is.
Yeah, lazy. No,
All it needed to be was tortilla chips, and she would have been good.
you're up, Jeff.
I don't want to hear no crunch though.
We're all getting one.
If I hear you chew, I'll
Yep.
kill
I bet they're not as hot as
Yeah, and we have no beverage to cool us off.
you don't.
Yeah, everyone else is prepared. You can have some of my gulp stuff.
Go. Nice. The battery acid.
Yeah,
I'm not starting this.
no, Ryan,
It
go.
doesn't smell spicy.
It doesn't.
I don't like it.
They're not bad.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, they're not bad.
They're a little bit spicy.
It comes in at the bottom of the 9th.
Dang.
These are the
That was
Derek Jeter of
anticlimactic.
chips. I don't like them.
I
Okay.
feel like
Well, I don't want it. He gives
I
it
feel
to me.
like Cholula is spicier than that.
It is. This is like
That's super disappointing.
this is putting pepper on a
Yeah.
chip.
You know what? Maybe she knew that, and she knew that these were fine. Hey,
She's back in the circle now.
I don't like them.
I like them.
The whole basket was a little off to me. She went with all new stuff, weird stuff, which I appreciate. She did put in.
Cinnamon gummies though.
cinnamon
There's
gummies.
cinnamon. What?
That's a
What?
thing.
Like Big Red.
It's funny
Flavor.
because just the other day I told her
Really?
Yeah.
that she was making me rank flavors, and after bubblegum I put cinnamon second, and she was flabbergasted by that. So odds are
There you go.
she was out there looking
God,
for.
you like brown sugar cinnamon Pop Tarts, don't you?
Ugh,
Well,
gross.
Ugh.
He,
I-
he
no,
likes them because he likes the healthy part.
people think
He eats around the frosting, and that's it.
people think that people like those when they don't.
Yeah.
I don't. When I say cinnamon, you know what I think of when I think of cinnamon? I think of.
Cinnamon.
Did you ever make candy as a kid?
Oh, he's doing
Yeah.
You know, like on a no, it's not a
Yep.
bit. It's not a bit. You know where everyone's like anticipating something. I'm
Talking
being
about
very honest.
rock candy.
Yeah.
With
It's-
the powdered sugar on it.
That
I made
every-
that
but
last year for Christmas, and there's some in my house right now.
and then
I was just there.
he refuses to accept it. Can't be bought in stores, but people make it at home.
Yep.
So anyhow, it's not rock candy. You sound like an idiot. It's glass candy.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's right.
I've heard sheet candy.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It's
Make
melted
a big
sugar.
sheet, knock down.
Anyhow, the cinnamon kind of that. Like you get a shard. Sometimes it's sharp. You know, you threaten people.
But you know what's
Your
funny?
grandma.
Because I made cinnamon last Christmas, and it I must have just barely missed the temperature you got to hit for it to get solid, you know? So as I go to crack it, it cracked okay, but then afterwards it sat for a while. It started to like not melt, but like it wasn't hard enough.
Like the round edges.
yeah.
Okay.
It, like once I put it all together, even with the powdered sugar, it started
It's like taffy now.
So I took it, added it to hot water, boiled it back down, and made it into syrup.
Oh, nice.
Added in like
Cinnamon
coffee
syrup.
and stuff. It was delicious. Yeah.
That sounds good.
Your life baffles me. Like,
Why?
it's just like you're like, yeah, today. Like you woke up that day and you're like, you know what I'm gonna do today?
No, it was Christmas. Gam Gam came over, and we made candy. We do it. We've done it a couple years now.
You can't buy that candy in the store.
I know that. That I know.
You got to make it by hand with your grandma at Christmas time. That's
then
when
you
you
put
make
powdered
it,
sugar
and
on
then
it.
you have it for the rest of the year because you make an ungodly amount for no reason. Because you got to make different flavors, but each flavor you got to make the full batch, so it's a lot of candy.
I ain't got no grandma, and I want some. So now I can't make it, and I can't buy it at the store.
No one should have them.
You know what other old-fashioned candy I like? That this reminds me of that I haven't had in forever. Do you remember like that cylinder of like? It was like a cylinder of candy, and it had a lid that you'd pop off. The lid reminded me that of Pringles, but thicker.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like old-fashioned candy is what it was called. And it was like
the
all
strawberry.
No, there's all different kinds of shapes and types and flavors in there. But if that thing ever got above room temperature, they were all kind of
it
melted
was like
together.
the one that the wrapper looks like a strawberry.
That one. That's the one. I'm
And the
thinking of.
one where
There's like a root beer one in there.
knockoff Werther's Originals because they look like them, but they're not the same flavor.
No, you guys sound so stupid. No, they're not individually wrapped.
Oh, they're not.
They're in there free balling.
Oh.
And it's his face. But no, it's like 30
Both
different.
for the term free balling and for the fact that a bunch of just loose candy in a container, like that's not going to sit
yeah,
well.
that's what I'm saying. If they get above room temperature, they kind of fuse together too. It's like an old-fashioned can. I'm gonna see it. You guys
I
talk
have
amongst
no
yourself.
clue.
I'm gonna see if I can find it.
I have
Talk
no
among,
idea what
talk
you're talking
among,
about.
talk amongst yourselves.
What was your topic?
My topic, I was approached by a family friend in the last week. They said, "Hey, you'll never believe this.
I love pineapple.
I saw this crazy deer, and it had real big, thick, dark brown antlers." I was like, "Oh, okay, that's interesting."
I'm listening.
Like, what is that? I said, "I don't know." I Googled it, and there's a term called cactus buck. It's like a weird deformity where their antlers get real thick. So I showed them the picture, and they're like, "Wow, that's weird," but no, it's not that. So I showed them a picture of just a deer in velvet, and they're like, "Yeah, that's it." Like so.
Oh, that's it.
Oh,
Every
loser.
buck ever, during the summertime, that's you've never seen a deer during the summer.
I was gonna say that the deer still do have their velvet, so
Yeah.
I don't know what he would have been seeing
But-
as far as a deer without velvet.
In researching that, I found the term cactus buck, which I thought was really interesting.
Could be a band name.
It
Cactus
is
Jack was a wrestler.
it is a buck that has
Mick Foley.
low testosterone, which impacts primary and secondary sexual characteristics.
So it's a
And then-
soy deer.
Yeah. But it's not so much that they have low testosterone, whether it's from injury or a tumor or disease like a epizootic hemorrhagic disease, the thing where you can't hunt a deer in a certain area because it's more about the timing. If you get a deer that has low testosterone from birth, they just never have antlers. If you get them when it's already had antlers and they're hard, they just fall off. If they already shed, the next year they'll grow their last set of antlers, which are permanent, and then they don't fall off after that, which I thought was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But the sweet spot is when they're still growing and in velvet. If they lose their testicles or get a disease right then, they keep the antlers and the velvet, and then they start slowly over time continuing to grow and developing these weird shapes. And
Oh, that's
some of them
cool.
have a weird unicorn. They fuse into one big one.
Whoa.
There's all these different variations, and it looked really cool. So now I'm hoping we see one eventually.
That'd be pretty cool.
No, I'll put a picture
I'm
up
not.
right here.
Okay, so this is the candy. It could come in a tub like this or a cylinder thing of paper.
Yeah, I
It's
remember
like
it now.
all the candy is different shapes and this and that, and they all kind of taste. They all have hints of different flavor, but
Yeah.
the base is.
Isn't that called ribbon candy?
Oh, it might be.
I've never seen that.
They
Remember
often
that.
came in jar
And they definitely were not wrapped. I do remember that.
yeah, they come in things like that.
Yep.
It's the container that they would come in.
Like what cheese ball come in.
Thank you,
Cheese
cheese
ball,
ball.
yeah.
That's what I was trying to think of.
Go for some cheese ball after that ghost pepper potato chip.
Thailand just came out with the new burger at Burger King. The Burger King's in Thailand.
This is a
Oh, I'm
very.
like, huh?
Oh, it was Thailand teamed up with Burger King.
That's what I remember.
This picture tells you everything you need to know.
I remember those.
If you don't recognize that, then you don't recognize what I'm talking about.
That's
No,
kind
I've never seen that before.
Never.
Are you serious?
really?
Yeah, it was at Grandma Betty's.
Not you, Jeff?
You know who had it? You know who turned me onto it? Mr. Shader.
What did he teach? He was one of those weird, in-between teachers who taught a bunch of different stuff.
Didn't he have a kid named Coco?
He did.
Not a dog.
I don't know enough about the subject to know why you're going.
A little strange.
I remember. Well, Coco was also a name of the kid, Rosita's kid in The Walking Dead, season
Oh my god.
10.
The show
And
never-
that's,
the
and
show will
that's
never
why you
end.
made a face
Nope.
when talking about a teacher's kid?
Nope.
It's,
Um,
all right, moving on.
I have,
Ryan, what's your topic?
I have a deer bit.
what?
I was recently
Made
told
questions.
that animals within the deer family, whatever they are,
Cervids?
they don't see, or they don't see orange,
Yeah.
and so
I
they
just
were.
want you to know, if you're trying to impress AJ by knowing the term for the deer family, I feel like he's not impressed.
Sure.
Me and
Yeah,
Brett-
whatever it's called. I don't know.
Cervids meant nothing to him. Move on.
Oh, never mind, AJ. Here's not the right word for what you're talking about.
All right, so tell us about the birds.
So
He grows a mustache, and now he's so cool.
they don't see orange, so tigers can slaughter them at ease.
Oh, okay.
This has to do with the missing 411.
I've never heard that connection made. I want that said. I never knew a connection of blaze orange because supposedly they don't see color, right?
Yeah.
So it all kind of just blends together or whatever. So the orange isn't the highlighter that we think it is to deer. I've never heard that
In correlation to tigers.
being able to slaughter them at
I've
will.
never thought of deer or cervids and
because why
Being near tigers.
Yeah.
why would orange be any less significant
They
or
don't
more
have the-
significant?
They don't have the cones or the rods in their eye to be able to detect.
Yeah, but that doesn't. It's not like that. That sounds like that stupid joke, and people are like, "Oh, I can't see your. If I just see a floating head because you have camouflage on." It's not like it vanishes,
No, they can't see the color orange.
No, yeah,
right? But they can see the object that is orange.
yeah.
Correct.
That's where I'm struggling with
It
this.
just ends up
But if-
being like
if
I don't
some-
know if it's
so,
like
but if they can't see color in general, than them not seeing color on an orange object versus a red object versus a blue
I don't
object.
know.
Yes,
That's
but-
not how it works.
But if you've got like color is another distinction between just nothing or things that look all very similar. So if you can't see a color, it blends in with its surroundings better.
Yeah, the image I saw was like a green backdrop with the tiger there that we could see, and then it was like what deer see, and it's just green.
Yeah, deer are essentially red-green colorblind like some humans. Their color vision is limited to short blue, middle green wavelength colors. As a result, deer likely can distinguish blue from red, but not green from red or orange from red. Okay, so there you go. Moving on.
Right, good bit.
Well, so what's your question?
So there's no question, and this is a huge stretch. It was saying that humans can't see, or it was humans their eyes are bioluminescent, or they can't detect it on a certain level. So with the missing 411, no, am I wrong?
Wait, what are you calling bioluminescent?
Like
Like bad night vision.
like we put off it, I guess you could say. Like animals
Like a
can
aura?
see, yeah, and like animals can see us in a way that our naked eyes can't see you.
Oh, I see. Okay, so the stretch is that we are bioluminescent.
Correct.
They can see it. We
Yes.
can't.
Yes.
I see. Okay.
So they were comparing that with the missing 411, where people go missing, and it's maybe as if lost hikers stick out in the wilderness more than animals do, and they mysteriously go missing, as if there's like something out there that can pick up on that, and
like a predator, like not just a predator.
yes, yes.
Predator.
Big stretch, but compelling thought.
It's funny-
thought experiment.
Bigfoot.
It is funny that you happen to bring up bioluminescent because we talked about the bioluminescent bacteria,
Yes. Oh, yes.
which
exactly.
was my topic this week again because Rich.
You're already double dipping.
I am double dipping. So what happened? Rich sent me that article about the glowing seafood.
Mm-hmm.
He listened to the podcast, and then he sent me another story about the bioluminescent bacteria. And this happened during the Civil War. It was the Battle of Shiloh or something like that, where these soldiers were injured, and they noticed at nighttime these injured soldiers, their wounds were glowing, and they had a form
Aliens. So they killed them.
yeah, no. They noticed their wounds glowing, and it was a form of that bacteria, and it happened to be just like the perfect conditions of like it being cold out and being just wet enough that this bacteria could survive perfectly. And they also noticed that the soldiers that carried this bioluminescent bacteria versus the ones who didn't, the ones that did have it were healing faster and less prone to infection,
Oh.
while also glowing.
Really?
And now, what
Win-win.
may have caused them to glow again?
The bacteria.
The bacteria. Okay.
So it went into like nematodes eating the bacteria, then
Okay.
puking
Oh.
something up, and blah blah
Okay.
blah blah. I didn't get it, but basically all these soldiers were glowing at nighttime from all their wounds.
So maybe
That's
that's, like
so
the
weird.
hidden
And then it was what they
fountain
called
of youth.
they called it angel something.
Dust.
Angel dust. Yes.
I think that's
And
not.
I learned something.
Can't wait to tell my grandma that one.
It's called Angel Glow.
Another
Angel
band name.
Glow.
Yeah.
Another potential
That would be a
band
good
name.
band name.
I like
it.
dust better.
Angel Dust.
So that was my stretch of weird
Your phenomenon.
crypto theory.
All right.
Crypto theory.
All right.
If you want to be here, it all starts here. At Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, we have the widest selection of the quality brands you love to get you outdoors. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, our friendly, knowledgeable outfitters will help you find the right products for your next trip. Shop with confidence with our low price guarantee. Plus, club members save even more on great gear with exclusive member pricing. Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, voted America's best outdoor retailer.
For every purpose, for every path, for every soul, for every season, there's a Ram.
Legends aren't born, they're created. Introducing Impulse from Savage, the all-new American-made straight-pull bolt-action rifle. Unmatched innovation, fast reloads, maximized efficiency, repeatable accuracy. Welcome to American Straight Pull, only from Savage.
We leave tomorrow morning. We had, I think we mentioned on the last podcast that the guy we were going with from JBL Spearfishing broke his back, so we can't go spearfishing for an episode, so we had to replace it in a drastic hurry. And because of that, we're going to do a commemorative, right? Yeah, commemorative episode to our home state, and kind of
Kinda.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good enough.
Yeah. Good.
Didn't realize we were minting coins over here.
Oh, right. The commemorative coin.
Minting coins.
You put the penny in green.
Said it?
No.
No? Because that'd be pretty cool.
In your press.
Yeah.
My dad could make that.
Probably.
We're going to be hitting some of the cool landmarks in the UP. Now, I apparently lied, and I have been to the UP when I was a kid, but we just drove through it to go to the Wisconsin Dells.
Driving through doesn't count.
Nah.
That's like people who say they've been to all 50 states because they like
Went to the airport.
drove to Texas, and that's like 14 states right there. It's like, no, you got to stay there and do something,
14 states.
Whatever it is, you know what I mean.
The drive there, you pass through like 14
Oh,
states
okay.
or something.
Yeah.
Is what
I'm
he's
like,
saying.
I thought because you go to Texas,
It's
that
only
means you've
like
been to 14 states.
it's only like 8 or something, but
So we're going to hit Kitchitty.
I want you to say it.
Kitchitty Kippy. Yeah, because I started making slang for it
things,
that was funny, but I can't do that in the show. Kitchitty
uppity kitchen kitty.
is where we're going. So we're going to see that. We're going to Pictured Rocks, which I've never seen. And we're also going to go cliff jumping. How big are the cliffs we're jumping off of?
Depends on how big you want to jump.
Extreme. Like, what's the biggest ones? Because that's what I want to do. Like 50, 40.
Are there also
Yeah.
bunny slopes or?
There's whatever you want.
You can roll,
However high you want to jump,
you
you
can
can
roll
jump.
down whatever you want to roll down, Joe.
Yeah, whatever you want to slip into.
You're not a heights guy.
I will gladly walk away from whatever we are doing.
Well, I'm cliff jumping, and I assume Ryan is too.
I have already saved you
AJ?
from drowning once.
Yeah.
Everybody gets one. So
I think I've done a 50-footer once,
I did 90 in Jamaica, 92.
and that was a sketch.
That was so sketch. The tour guide was like, I forbid you. I was like, okay.
you're like, oh my God.
Next thing
What's
I'm up
that?
there. I'm up there with all the locals in their underwear. They're like doing like backhand springs and stuff into the water. And it was it's at a place called Rick's Cafe. So it's kind of famous. It's supposed to be
It's in Lansing.
no, it's in Negril, Jamaica, and it has the world's fastest sunset, is what they say,
Interesting.
because of where they are and the equator and everything like that. And I will tell you this: when that sucker gets close to the horizon, you can visually see it going down the rest of the way. Like you're perceiving it going down with your eyes. That's how quick it looks like it's going down. Very cool. But there's like it's like a 3-level bar built into the cliff. So like you like go down the stairs, and then there's pools everywhere, and the pools are like knee deep, and there's like tables and chairs in them. And I assume you can pee because I did. No, I'm just kidding. So people are like,
They don't put that blue stuff in the ocean, right?
So like you're in all these pools, and there's live bands, and it's so loud with all the music and stuff. And then there's people that live in Jamaica on the cliffs across, because it's like a little cove thing with like a 90-foot drop down, and the water's the bluest green thing you've ever seen in your life. It's gorgeous. And the locals will jump off, and they'll do all these crazy tricks and stuff, and then people give them money somehow. I don't really know how because they're on the other side, but they're getting money. And there's like a little one for like tourists to go off of, and it's like 25 foot, which is still a drop. But when you look at it compared, I mean, you got to go down so many stairs to get down to it and then jump. So a lot of dignity goes out on your way down. and everyone was doing that. And I remember we got there, and I had talked so much crap about doing this jump that when I was like, I'll do the 90, and the lady,
Jeez.
our tour guide, and this is not,
Don't do it.
This is not a. I'm gonna try and do her accent. Shouldn't, but I'm gonna. Yeah.
No, just say what
Oh,
you said
man.
in your voice. It's probably fine.
She goes, "You're gonna look like your American flag when you're done." And I don't know why that's the accent I went with. And I was like, "What do you mean?" She goes, "You're already white. You're gonna be all black, blue, and there'll be red all over." Because she's like, "Don't jump because it's dangerous."
She said that line 700 times.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's her bit.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. So I get up there, and she was pretty bound and determined to keep me from doing it. But I end up making friends with this old couple, and they were, well, I guess they were like 60.
And he was like, "You only live once," said the 80-year-old.
Who'd accomplished everything and owed a lot of sketchy people money. No, I'm just kidding. But this guy who's like a firefighter, I think he was like 58, 57, something like that. And he's like, "We'll do it together." I was like, all right. And then we're in. Then the whole tour bus was like chanting me on and stuff. And I get there, and I had never seen a 90-foot cliff before. And I was like, this is not what I expected. So I get all the way up there, and all the people from the tour bus are filming. The lady's yelling at me, and everyone's watching the whole thing. Somehow I guarded this crowd, and now I'm like, there is...
Jeff, were you here? Were you there for it?
No, he wasn't. I was like, there is no walking back now. I have to do this. And the fireman goes, "I'll go first." Runs off it. Doesn't get any explanation, nothing.
Turns out the safe spot you got to hit is about the size of this table.
He just runs off.
So then I'm like,
Fearless.
now...
Cannonball!
No cannonballs. So now I'm like, I'm screwed. I cannot walk down off this thing. Dude, I walk over the edge, and the guy up there, he's like, you don't want to go too far because you will clear to the other side and hit the rocks on the other side. So if you run off too fast, you'll go down at an angle, and then by the time you hit the bottom, you'll hit rocks on that side. But you don't want to go too light because if you don't get to the middle, you will hit rocks here. So he goes,
None of this seems worth it at all.
He goes, it's like a...
No, I'm walking away.
He goes, a brisk walk is what you're looking for. And I was like, okay. He's like, make sure you cover your... I don't think he said...
Pintu.
Yeah. You cover your gonads and your butt because you can get an enema. And it's like those bulbs they got, you know. But you can, so that's what he's telling me and stuff. He's like, make sure you point your feet. Now, I was dumb enough to be chasing a fish on the coral reef the day before, and that's when I got stung by the sea urchin. So I'm already limping.
So you're just forcing something further in.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right. So I got little pieces of the sea urchin in me still. And I go, all right, I'm doing this. So I like do like kind of a brisk walk, and I remember going off, and I'm so worried about my nuts. That's like 90% of what I'm worried about. I cross my feet, and I cover my holes. And on the way down, I remember I had my eyes closed for a second. I opened them up, and I'm just seeing cliff go by, you know. And I remember thinking, dude, when is it going to hit? Like, when am I going to hit the water? And it was like you had the full-on roller coaster feeling, but you weren't actually safe. Like, it wasn't like, and you're like that. I forgot to point.
Sounds like something I want in my life.
We're doing this tomorrow. I forgot to point my feet, and dude, that my feet smacked, and I opened my eyes in the water, burned like crazy, but you just impulse, and it's
alive.
It is the bluest, clearest water you ever saw, but you got to get big fast because otherwise you'll be going down a long ways. Mm-hmm. And I didn't take a breath before either, so there's a bit of a. I didn't do well. But I got out, and I had all these little holes like in my feet of drops of blood everywhere from the impact.
Did you get a cheer when you were surfing?
Yeah, oh yeah, everyone. Oh, it was so worth it.
It was so worth it.
Like little micro tears in your feet.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. So that was 93 foot, and then him and I got a picture in front of the sign. Let's see if I can
What's
dig that up.
Where was the location at again? At the restaurant?
Yeah, so it's called Rick's Cafe. It's 3 stories. They got live bands on 2 of the stories. There's pools everywhere. So, like, all the tables and stuff are in pools. Mm-hmm. I told you Jamaica's my favorite place. Everywhere I've been, it's my favorite place on earth. I want to go with us because I just want to show you guys so much there. But the food was amazing, and that was pretty cool. But then we watched the sunset, and no kidding.
It's the fastest sunset in the world.
I've never... Well,
I don't know how that's real. That's got to be some sort of gimmick.
It could be a gimmick.
If you're closer to the equator.
It makes sense.
Well, how is theirs the fastest?
They're in the
on
sweet
like the
spot.
horizon.
They're in the sweet spot.
That still does not make sense. The
I've
Earth
never
is
seen
just as round as it is anywhere. If you find the same coordinates on...
No, because it's tilted. the Earth is tilted, so that when it goes past and when it
Well,
goes
it's like
through, there would be places where the sun moves quicker. Just like there's
no
there's
sunset.
days that are longer in Alaska,
Yeah.
there's days that are shorter.
There's no sunset.
all of those.
points in
It's
Alaska.
all those variables happen.
Yeah, I get that. I understand
So
all of that. But if you still that line, you can still follow the same line all the way around the Earth.
Oh, yeah, but how many places line up exactly with where Jamaica does on that line is what I'm saying. And I don't know how many there are.
I'm just saying, I think it's a gimmick.
Well, it's the fastest sunset I ever saw.
That's a great point. A great time to bring in our guest, Neil deGrasse Tyson.
That'd be great.
Tell
Yeah,
us all
Ryan,
everything you
I
know
got to
is
tell
wrong.
you why you're an idiot.
First off, great mustache.
So we are going to do some cliff jumping, not that extreme, but pretty good ones, I would hope. We're
Look
going.
forward to going forth.
We're doing pictured rocks.
Once we wrap, I'll do it.
Pictured rocks. Are you going to do it?
Yeah.
Cool. We'll
Once
hold
we get what we
hands.
need.
We'll do it together. Yeah.
Okay.
What?
Guatemala, Mexico,
All have the same pace.
all directly in line with Jamaica.
Well, did you hold on?
Almost all Africa, the Middle East,
Yeah,
India, China.
I feel like it's probably is fast there in relation to a lot of other places, and because it's a big tourist place, it's different for a lot of people. So a lot of those people are spreading that,
Okay.
as they're going
And
home.
it's an island.
So it's wives' tale, basically.
Yeah,
Wise tale.
wise tail.
Wives' tale.
I know.
Just checking.
So they also, it says that sunsets are faster around equinoxes for everybody, and your latitude ultimately determines the duration of the sunset, and it's because of this that the sun sets the fastest near the equator and the slowest near the poles. Since the sun sits much higher in the sky near the equator at solar moon than at the poles, the equator gets the most direct sunlight year-round. So, and then there's people making Ryan arguments in the comments everywhere, but there are a lot of people that are saying,
Like, I don't understand this.
Right
the
there.
sun should set at the same time. The
And
Earth is flat. I don't get it.
that's actually kind of funny. Doesn't that knock a hole in the whole flat Earth case right there?
Yeah, I mean, you could throw every
Fact that
fact
those people
at them, and they're like,
My
no.
favorite was flat earthers debunked the flat Earth theory with their
laser.
where they're like you set up two fences, right, and you put a hole at like the same height on both. Now, if there's a curve in the Earth at a certain point where the fences are far enough apart, when you're looking at it through this hole, if it's flat, you'll see this hole. If it's not, at some point the Earth gets in the way, or it's like higher, whatever. So they shine a light through the one, and they're like, "Do you see it?" Like, no. He raises it the amount to go with the Earth's curve, and then what do you know? There it is.
Wow.
That's kind of funny.
They've disproven themselves a million times. We didn't land on the moon, though.
Yeah, no, I'm with Ryan on that.
What was your new reason why?
My reason why was because I watched the video of the moon landing and the moon leaving. So the astronauts are leaving from the moon, and there's a cameraman on the moon who pans up the camera to them as they're leaving on the spaceship, whatever the spaceship is that's wrapped them in aluminum foil.
260,000 miles away.
And Elon's just figuring out how to land rockets like that and take them off again.
It's like, hey, NASA, what did you do with the plans that you went to the moon with? Oh, we destroyed them. Next question.
Yeah, they recorded over them.
They're
or something.
confidential. You can see them in 65 years. Oh, it's been 65 years? Huh.
Where are they at?
How come we can't live stream something?
Listen, there's a war
But
going on,
they
okay? Another 65, we'll give them away then.
We'll give it to you then.
They live streamed that
Yeah. It was a
from
lie.
265,000 miles away. They live streamed it.
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Please like and subscribe.
And punch that subscribe button.
That's great.
The Greenway Outdoors is brought to you by Ram Trucks, built to serve. Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, your adventure starts here. Savage Arms, Nosler Ammunition, Bosch Shot Shells, Wilderness Athlete, fuel for the rugged, Tracker Boats, fish the finest, Eagle Fishing, designed for the savvy angler, Rufus Teague barbecues, snacks, and spices, Rectech Grills, it's more than a grill, it's a way of life, Sea-Doo, make your own waves, LEM Products, motivating people to hunt, process, and prepare their own food, Quiet Cat, the leader in electronic bikes for hunting, fishing, camping, and exploring. Consistency. That's what you aim for with every practice shot. So when you're out in the field, you get that same consistency every shot. With Carlson's choke tubes, consistency is what you'll get. Our choke tubes are long-lasting, high quality, and made right here in the USA. Carlson's choke tubes, pattern tested, hunter approved. Find out more at choketube.com.
Are you anxious to get going? Knowing that the clock is ticking and time truly is the most precious commodity in the world? Then you, my friend, are in good company.
There's a thing that says did the astronauts leave a camera on the moon? The original camera is still on the moon.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Maybe they Ken Burns it.
They got the SDs.
Yeah.
They Ken Burns it.
How did even so, the camera equipment back then?
It turned straight up at the spaceship.
That's Ken Burns.
So they would have they would have had to go back, get the film, and then leave with the film and leave the camera behind. I'm sure.
Yeah, they're broadcasting off the moon.
Yeah.
And communicating in split seconds with each other.
I wonder if there were people in real time when it was happening that were like, this doesn't make sense, because everybody was all in on it.
What kind of voodoo is this?
Yeah, you get shamed for it.
Huh.
I'm not buying it.
Well, there was like a thing that came out when we were younger on like PBS or something where maybe not PBS. There was like a documentary that came out like, hey, we don't think this is real.
I remember that made for
and then they killed them?
Made for TV or something. Yeah, probably.
When Apollo 17 lifted off from the moon, a camera captured the movements of the spacecraft. Even though nobody was left behind to say, establish a lunar base, how was that possible? With a camera on the lunar rover that could be controlled or even programmed from Earth.
Oh, so they had a lunar rover that they put on the moon too?
They live streamed it back.
Well, so what do you guys
Pretty
think?
impressive technology for the takeoff 42 years ago. This was a 2014 article. Although it took 3 tries to get the technique right. As the Smithsonian National Air and Space Museum.
Smithsonian.
That's how I say it.
Yeah, that's how I say it.
Smith Cinnamon.
The camera was available on Apollo 15, 16, and 17. The television camera communicated from Earth using a high-grain antenna over the rover.
Dude.
But there was a slight time delay for the radio waves to travel, a couple of seconds, between the Earth and the moon. So the engineer suggested moving the rover a certain distance from the lunar module and setting the camera to automatically tilt to show the lunar liftoff when commanded from Earth.
No way.
No,
So what I don't understand
I'm
though
out.
is if it wasn't previously possible,
I don't
and
think
that
we
was
could
faked,
do it, so I don't think they can do it.
No.
If that was faked, and Elon Musk knowing what he knows about space travel and
He
rockets
says he
now,
thinks it's real.
so see that's what I'm saying. So if he knows obviously much more about rockets than any of us do, and he thinks that it's real, because if he didn't, I would think he'd be like, "We're going to the moon," actually, not "We're going to Mars."
Yeah.
You know what? You know what?
I think people are afraid of the moon.
You know what though? That's an interesting point. But there is a point where he was doing an interview, and he said that he was forced to lie about something, otherwise the banks would pull the funding and Tesla would die. So he was forced to admit he was wrong and lie, and he said it ate him up every day, but he had to do it to save the company. I could see a scenario same way where he has to say, oh yeah, it happened in order to get because he's getting help from NASA and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I believe it.
He's in a position where it's like he can't be like, no, they're all liars, they're all this and that. Now, so that's one argument. But the counter argument to that is the video we watched the other day. Elon Musk was being interviewed, and If you don't know, Elon Musk is a super rich billionaire.
If you don't know who Elon Musk is,
people might not. And he started SpaceX. He's taking off rockets. He owns Tesla. Pretty cool guy. One of my favorites. He said, "Are you following? Or you want me to slow it down?"
yeah, dude.
Make sure you align yourself with people. That's always good.
I try to narrate something, guys. Sorry, let's have inside conversations that people don't understand.
If you don't know who Donald Trump is, at one point he was the president.
So anyhow, he was being interviewed, and they were talking about how the guy helped me out with this part.
Neil
Buzz, the original guys that supposedly went to the moon were like saying what he was doing was terrible, and they were not supportive, and they thought it was irresponsible, and this and that. And they asked him, they're like, "How do you feel about those guys?" He was struggling not to cry. He's like, "They're my heroes. I want them to support me," and it hurt that they didn't. So why would he give a crap about a bunch of liars? You know what I mean? If he thought they were all liars, why would he care so deeply?
Maybe he's crying about how bad they lied.
Yeah, they are in on it too.
That's not what he said. Yeah, so that's my curiosity.
They didn't.
My thing that I wonder about is, okay, so the moon landing, so it didn't happen. Most of the people involved at that point are either dead now or old enough that they're not aggressively relevant anymore. Right? So who, if that's still being covered up at this point, who is being protected?
Your thing's on backwards. Your hat.
It's exactly what they backwards.
Yeah, pod.
I don't know if you know this about AJ. I'd like you, number one, to meet AJ. This is AJ. He goes his own way.
I guess it'll look good for that camera.
There you
the
go.
overhead.
Yeah.
He was planning ahead.
He was
Glad you caught up with AJ.
Playing 4D chess over here.
All right, go on, Jeff.
That's all I had.
Oh.
Why is it still being covered up?
If it's still being covered up, then they have to be protecting an institution at that point.
Yeah, the American people.
Well, yeah.
America. They
So-
can't.
The
they
government or
can't-
someone else involved
they
at that
can't
point
acknowledge that they lied.
You know.
Back to the case, though. Why was Buzz and all these people, they went to court to testify against Elon Musk, saying that he should not be doing what he's doing. Like, they were major against it.
Maybe they were scared that he would expose the truth.
Yeah, right. So that puts me back to thinking it was fake. So I go back and forth.
Well, you know, Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong, if they're not known for being the guys on the moon, they still... What else did they... Oh, yeah.
They're just talking heads. They're just actors.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't
Like
even
to see
remember...
their laptop.
I don't even remember... I don't even remember the third guy's name. Mike?
He's
I
still-
actually
he's still on the
watched an
moon.
interview with him the other day. No,
He's still holding
on the
that
moon.
camera. Still panning.
I watched an interview with him the other day because he was talking about the third guy. He doesn't get any press, but he was technically the most important because he was the one that had to keep the spacecraft in the air. And he said he was talking about how weird it was being on the dark side of the moon because he had to go around the moon and then come back and get them. And he
If
was
it
like,
was real.
he's like, yeah, that'd be
Can
a
you
spooky
imagine?
time alone over there, dude.
Yeah.
Can you imagine getting that talk and then like trying to prep yourself up like you're gonna believe it? No, your job is the most important. You're gonna keep the spaceship running and warm while we go walk and play golf on the moon. Real important.
super
Make sure
important.
you keep the windows up, buddy.
That's a good one, Joe.
That is pretty good. No, I don't know.
He would be the farthest human
Yeah.
from civilization ever.
Yeah. Dang. There was a group of one of the earlier space stations, and I don't remember the whole story, but the important part was they went up to there and something happened and they died. And they were left out in space. And it was a story that was like, for as long as, you know, recorded history and really forever, humans have all died and been together on Earth, like their bodies, you know. But for one, it was like 30 minutes, there was a dead guy in space. Because then after he died, the capsule or whatever, auto came back to Earth.
Oh, man.
And then they found him. And
No whale fall in space.
yeah.
Yeah.
Another space subject is the fact that on Thursday, the Northern Lights are supposed to be like one of the strongest that
Oh, yeah.
they've been in many years. And we're going to be in Escanaba in the UP, and they should be highly visible to us. And I've been watching
I
the
sure
weather,
hope so.
and it looks like the weather will cooperate.
Yeah.
So if we can get that on film, that'd be awesome.
That'd be nice.
That'd be really, really... I've never seen him.
What camera
you?
do you guys think?
No.
R5 or A7?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
We'll run them all.
Yeah.
We'll run them all. All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning in to the Green Outdoors podcast. I look forward to sharing that trout episode with you. as well as all of our other episodes that are going to be launching on History Channel very soon. Look for the Greenway Outdoors on History Channel. We'll be able to announce the official dates coming soon. Also, check out our weekly podcast right here. If you're just listening to it, you can also watch it at YouTube as well as Carbon TV. Thanks so much for tuning in. Stay green. Happy birthday to me.